Hi everyone, welcome to Geek Creations. Today we're going to be making Mario power-up cookies, as you can see here. And if you want to learn how to make these, stick around and enjoy. Thank you! So starting off, you're going to need all the baking essentials. This includes a whisk, a spatula, I've got some measuring cups, a mixing bowl, and cookie sheets. These are special cookie sheets so the cookies don't stick to it. I'm pretty sure you can buy it at Michael's, and I've seen some at Target. If you want to get some, it makes it a lot easier when taking the cookies off. They don't break, and it's really easy. So now you're going to need all the ingredients. I'm using sugar cookie mix, and we're making cutouts, so that's going to be a tablespoon of flour, an egg, and a third cup of butter. If you have a cup measurement, just scoop out the butter and even it out. Or if you have a stick of butter, then it's easy. Just cut it where it says 1/3. They're measured for you. Just cut it, preheat it, and then stick it in there. Next, I'm using colored pearls, black food coloring, and assorted dyes. So red, yellow, green, blue. We're really only going to need the green, yellow, and red, black, and then the white in here. That's going to be for the eyes. So, awkward. And lastly, a circular cookie cutter. If you do not have a circle cookie cutter, then you can get something like the cap, or you can trace out the measuring cups, or cooking spray. That's also a good trace. So just trace out a circle if you need it. And let's get started. Start by preheating your oven. And now you may add all of the ingredients. And I am using just ready-made sugar cookies because they're easier to form and easier. They're they're better to create with, like making cutout cookies. If you want to create homemade cookies, you can do that, but they're not as dense and it's harder to manipulate them. There is butter stuck on my spoon. And now you can mix up all your ingredients. Oop. So now what you're going to do is, once you've mixed it all together and you've sort of formed all the clumps into balls, you're going to have one large one for the peach color for the dots and the body, and then a green and red. So we're going to dye these. So now you're going to dye them, and I'm going to learn how to take off the top. There we go. So just a little bit, and then just mix it up. If you want to wear gloves so you don't look like your hand is bleeding, you can do that. I'm okay. And you're just going to dye both of them until they come to a good color that you like. And now I'm going to do the same with the green. As you can see, I got a red color here, so I can mold that. And once you start molding, it doesn't become as clumpy, because this one's a little bit clumpy and dry and everything. It gets nice and smooth and easy to So I'm going to roll out my red, and I have created the green. And the large clump of white cookie dough, or peach or whatever, I split into two. So one's for the red and one's for the green. And so once it's all nice and flattened, we are going to get our cookie cutter and start cutting out circles. Yay! And then you can roll it back up and create more circles. So now I'm going to do the same with the wet cookie dough. So you're going to need the same amount as you have with the red circles. I will be right back. So now what I'm going to do is I cut out a little bit of this cookie, and I take one of my sugar cookies and fit it in that, and then round it off, and then just cut off the bottom. Okay, so now what I did is that I got a little bit of the cookie cutter and I just cut out so there are small circles, and I'm going to do that for this right here. I'm going to do the same and then just fit it in, and then you can get your spatula or a knife or something, or you can get this to round it off like that, and just mold it in and make sure it fits. And you're going to do that to all of your cookies. So now what I did is that I got the black food dye, I dyed a little bit of this, and I'm just going to create small circles and place it onto the cookie. And then, once you've got a little eye down, you can sort of shape it. And that's where these come in. I'm just going to get a little white pearl and stick it right there. So it's got a little sparkle in the eye like they do. Cannot see it. There you go. Just put it in the corner and I will be right back. Okay, so these guys are done. They're ready to go into the oven, and then and while they're baking, they take about like 3 to 5 minutes, and while they're baking, we are going to work on making the green mushrooms. So do the exact same thing, but with the green. See you guys there. Now, if you have extra cookie dough, my green mushrooms are in the oven right now. You can put the extra dough to good use and start by getting a small little cylinder of cookie dough going, and then with your assorted colors you can get out your yellow food dye, and with your extra white you can make them as small as you want depending on how much you have. They can be big, they can be small. Mine are going to be a little bit small, but they're going to be around the same size as the mushrooms. You are going to split it in half. This one's going to become a small cylinder, and this one you are going to dye yellow. So I will be right back. Now what I did is that I rolled it out, and like sushi, you are just going to roll it up, and it looks like this. You're going to cut off the excess and sort of flatten it down, and I will be right back. Now what you're going to do is get your excess red food coloring and flatten it out and do the exact same. Now if you've got extra red and green, you can try to make more Mario mushrooms, but I like this better, and I will be right back. So now with your bundle of weird sushi dough stuff, you are going to cut the flour. So start by cutting off a thin layer right there so it becomes flat, like that. So it becomes flat, and then you can start cutting it up. Ta-da! Fire flour. And it gets a little bit flat, so you can just roll it out a bit. But you want sort of a flat edge because we're going to add more. And I will be right back. Okay, so now they are a bit thick and small, so like I did to these ones, you're just going to squish them. Make sure that they get a nice form, sort of round them out, and they become little fire flower shapes. You can see. Okay, so now what I'm doing, now that you've got the fire flowers, you are just going to cut some stems out. You can trim these up later. And cut them in half. And you're also going to cut some leaf shapes. And I will show you what they look like on the flowers in a bit. Okay, So I finished the fire flowers, I finished their stems and their leaves and everything. So you should be a pro at this now. You're going to add eyes again. And I will be right back. Okay, so here's all of them. The green mushrooms sort of got burnt, and some of the stems for the fire flowers fell off, but they're okay overall. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Don't worry, because I would never forget about you. Here is your guys' badge, and yes, this is a thing. Stop complaining, because it's a thing. Thank you guys. Bye.